let me say this before I leave. Well, I got a lot of stuff to do early in the morning. I like to get up by 6, 7 o'clock. It's a blessing and a pleasure at all times to be amongst my brothers and sisters. One thing that I really value is the love that my older brothers showed me when I was a baby, and I really didn't understand what our Father was saying to us. In 1964, when I got stabbed in 129th Street, it was the guards that fought. In April, before I got stabbed, it was the guards that fought the police. It wasn't no strangers to try to protect younger brothers like myself from our foolishness and folly. In 1968, it was the guards and the Father who stopped the riot in Harlem. Well, nobody else could do it. It was real. I watched brothers walk down the avenue with the Father and Mayor Lindsay and everybody arm in arm. So everything of real powerful and significance that I witnessed as a child, because at 13, we wasn't as grown as y'all 13 years old are today, but I was a child. Everything I witnessed was real, and it touched my heart because I already had a sharp mind and I was not a follower. So it was hard for somebody to convince me because I was hard-headed and big-headed. Because I used to tell the guards, argue with them in school, well, you got a D and I got an A, so who's the smartest? And they would say, well, you don't have the knowledge. I said I would argue or do certain things, but the truth is so real, God, that it comes to you in stages. And sometimes you see the truth and you hear it, and it takes you a minute before you say, oh, Savior, he our truth. That's what this brother was saying to me. That's what our God's brother was saying to me. That's what Prince was saying to me. That's what Bishop was saying to me. And these brothers to me, I knew them by their name. I knew them as Junebug, as Butch, as by their name, because I watched them as a young brother in the block. You see what I'm saying? Arif. You understand what I'm saying? I watched these brothers. But the most important thing that they gave me is they pointed the Father to me. I never talked to them, wasn't introduced, and they also gave me the love. And that love was genuine. It wasn't no game in it. They told it to me in my best interest, and that's what made me come back when I got it and said, yeah, Allah is God, and he cannot die. Peace. I got to go, get this road. Like I said again, it's always a pleasure and a blessing. And the greatest thing I ever see, every time I see, is when I see the young. I spend more time, I learned this one, because I get in scrapes, beefs with my brothers, but when I'm with the babies, I don't have no problem, dog, and that's what the Father did. He came to the young. He came to the young. And I never had a big ego. I had a big head now, because I could, I was sharp in school. I had a big head, and I was like, yeah, I could do this algebra, this math, I could do all of this. But until I got the knowledge of myself, then I understood what the Father was really teaching to brothers who I watched, and what he was really saying to them about being brothers in this knowledge as one, and being together as one. The brotherhood of this nation, the sisterhood, the family, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because the Father wasn't no single man. He had a wife, he had children, he had some herbs, he had a bunch of babies, so he taught us about family. And a lot of us, when we was coming up, came from broken families. Our mothers, our father, our old dad. So that sense of family was what the gods instilled in me. The first thing I did, once I got knowledge, I studied my lessons, I got me a woman, taught her, gave her the knowledge, gave her the lessons, built a family, make a baby, and bring these babies to this nation. First chance I got. The first person name that my first baby could say was Justice. He could say it better than she could say my name. Because that was the person, well, I said, that's old man Justice. She said, Justice. When she could come out, I just looked at my herb sideways. I said, why she always running Justice? See what I'm saying? But that was the thing that really made my life greater and more powerful. In those experiences. Later for, and the Father didn't teach us to hate nobody. He didn't teach us to act stupid. He didn't teach us to think that we were better than nobody. He didn't teach us to think that we was worse than nobody. Because one thing I learned about equality, and I try to put it in my name, and you think you had a problem with Allah, and bro, I just had a lot of problems with equality when I put it in my name. Because brothers were saying a lot of gender things. And I was like, that's supreme. You can't make that no feminine, or no, you can't do that with that, because one thing about equality, it's in the supreme alphabet and the supreme mathematics, and it's power in the alphabet, and it's father or equality in the supreme mathematics. And that's what I was battling with, because I said, I want to be like, I want to be equal. And brothers try to tear me out of the frame, but because I come out on 29th Street, and we have a reputation for not allowing anybody to do anything to us as men, I got past a lot of stuff. But it wasn't unscathed. It wasn't without marks, blemishes, little, hurt feelings and pain, because Prince, it was me and I got counted. It was 20 brothers and sisters in 129th Street with knowledge from the Father. 20 in my block. 20 in one block, God. And I knew all of them. I didn't know them. Initially, some of them had Muslim names, because I got them had Muslim names when I met them. Amir, they wasn't gods when I met them, but they was righteous and civilized beings, and they were striving to get, the conscious thing in themselves. And the most important thing, they was turning that hate that the devil from 400 years had put in us, they was helping us turn that to love, God. And always say this, and it ain't nothing feminine, it ain't nothing soft about it. Tough love is the best love, but understanding is what we apply to everything, God, to man, woman, and child, when we deal with everybody, God. And if we don't apply no understanding, and if we don't have no vision, and when we're dealing with them, they're going to get confused. Because that's what people want, God. They want, a baby wants you to understand him. Your woman wants you to understand her. Your brother wants you to understand him, to look at him past what he may be doing or going through, and just to, really give him that vision, because that's my thing today, God, is vision. I'm saying everything I'm doing, everything I'm pushing from the 186,000 miles per second, because that's what our babies respond to. They respond to visual energy, light. And the Father said we wasn't his SONs, we was his SUNs. And an old saying, and this is old school, I don't call you son cause you mine, I call you son cause you shine. And that made me feel good. Because somebody be saying, son, I be saying, you ain't my father. He said, no, our man said this to me. He said, I don't call you son cause you mine, I call you son cause you shine. And when I understood that, and he wanted me to shine.
How you doing?
He wasn't trying to dim my light. Nobody that was sincere in this life was trying to dim the light. Then we try to, like the God said, we try to add to the light, make it brighter, so that the whole world can see that ain't nothing better than the love, the truth, the power, the things that, because this world is tore up from the flow up. That's every nationality. When I see their babies, I be saying, wow. Because the 10% ain't just blood sucking us, they blood suck their own. Peace. God, I see all the partners.
Peace, oh Lord.
Yeah, it's a pleasure always, God. Arif,
Peace, God.
Yeah, God. Black God, I didn't mean to cut y'all, but I gotta be on the go. I gotta take care of some stuff in the morning. And I get up early. And I need some rest, because I can't stay up as long as I used to, because I was taking pain.
You brought another thought to my mind.
Yes, sir. I'm staying.
Like I said, I learned on Rikers Island. Rikers Island used to be called the Rock, but the guards called it the Island of Pelon. The reason why it was called the Island of Pelon is because it didn't have a bridge that went over it, that go over it. You just had to take a ferry boat over to it. So by me getting 120 degrees on the Island of Pelon, I knew how to draw things up to myself. Like I said, I got knowledge of self, before I met the Father. God had me so leaped up, boy. They said, the only way you're going to see the Father is through the Son. So that put it in my mind that I was going to be thoroughly examined by the sons of Allah before I could even get to see the Father. Maybe that's why it took me from April 4th to April 21st to go to Mecca to see the Father. But I came on that day that Martin Luther King got killed. First place I went to the next day was up to Queens College. They had a demonstration up there. So I didn't see what took place in Mecca as far as the Father stopping the light and everything. But I heard about it. But I wasn't out there. You know? Like I said, I didn't go to Mecca to see the Father until the 21st day. You know? That wasn't true though. I was not examined by anybody. But I met old man Justice before I met the Father. Justice gave me a cold current. Justice asked me, who was I? I told him, my name is Dubois, being the most intelligent and divine builder. I'm ready now. Justice said, I didn't ask you that. And walked away. Oh, shit. Damn, God didn't even welcome me home and shit. That hurt my ego. You know? I said, man, fuck this. I got ready to walk off. But I had came to see the Father. That stopped me from leaving. Alright, so I met the Father. You know? I'm jumping over a lot of different things. I'm born in it as it comes back in mind as I'm playing my tape back. I remember one time seeing the Father on 127th Street. He down there shooting dice. He ain't with it. I'm standing on the wall watching him like this. You know what he told me? Sit down, son, go down to the school of laws in there. And then I'm about shooting dice. And he gonna tell me to go down to the school of laws in there. Who was the Father telling me? Huh? So, I'm striving to come to the point of Allah was not selfish. He did not just take Allah for himself as an individual. But he seen Allah in the black man. Just as he looked in the mirror and seen himself as being Allah. But you can't make nobody Allah. You can't. Either you is or you ain't. Excuse me, or you isn't. Or you aren't. One of them things. You know? You know? I try to draw everything up to my own self. If I can't see it, if it don't draw up to me, I leave it alone. It ain't meant for me. Might be meant for him, might be meant for him, might be meant for him, but it ain't meant for me. I'm not gonna deal with it. You know? There's a lot of things in 120 that I might not agree with because I'm not able to show improvement.
Peace.
I ain't saying whether it's right, or I ain't saying
Yeah,
whether it's wrong.
Yeah, where?
You understand? I said I don't
What's
do
the Okay, hold on.
because I have not drawn it up to me. Like I said, Elijah answered those questions.
Please.
I need to tell you
now.
also, that I'm a God that rewrote 120.
Okay, Sitco. I don't even know where Sitco is at.
Each lesson.
Yes. Yes.
To what I see. Also wrote lessons for the woman, called the wisdom verses. I don't even got them.
Well, I got to get back there. You can't just go there.
Understand? Instead
But
of
how
drawing
you
up
gonna get in there if I'm not there?
Peace of God.
Peace of God. Peace Almighty.
Yeah, I don't think Sitco's work like that. I'm coming at you. Peace. I got to go myself. I don't know where now lies at, but I got to go, guy.
This manifestation going to continue on tomorrow.
Yes. Okay, I'm coming out there. All you got to do, you at the Sitco. I'm coming at you. I was gonna tell you, go straight up to that.